See, I make R&B music. I make Malayalam R&B music, and sonically, the kind of music I make always existed. The instrumentals existed, the melodies existed, the sex appeal did not exist. That's all. The branding did not exist before, and let's just say the spiel of an R&B artist is not just music. It's the branding. It's the intimacy. It's the narrative about intimacy. It is also the sex appeal. It is the clothes. It's the stories around the artist, right? And that's the only thing I'm doing differently in this language, which is Malayalam. Hey, Confikt, this is on the rise, and this is Aksomaniac or Aron Kollassani Selestin for those who need my convent name time to time. And what my music stands for is actually what I stand for as a person. And my values as a person lean to a place where I am very open about my sexuality. I am very open about my orientation along those lines. I'm very open about my identity as a brown boy. And all of these things are my politics also. And these really seep into my songs as well. And Malayalam films have always talked about this in like really profound ways. Touchwood. We always had great stories and great films. I think Malayalam music, on the other hand, even though has been great, I've always loved Malayalam film music, but never had the autonomy again to spend time and tell their own stories rather than being subservient to the films that they are made for. So now with indie music on the rise, now with hip hop music on the rise, which is facilitating these stories, I can go ahead, say whatever bullshit on record, and that is mine. There is no other stakeholder here. There is nobody who's going to come in between and say, hey, Axo, you cannot say that. Unless I say a certain thing, definitely. But that freedom to tell my own story is freeing. And my songs are about my stories, which is about these topics. As of now, R&B has always affected me because of its honesty around intimacy, and that's what I'm following, but in ways where I want to push it forward and start conversations around being open about intimacy now. 5 साल पहले तो 2020 है ना. 2020 तो 2020 is me in my school, last year of school. COVID happened. And a lot of things got shut down, and I and my family had the privilege to not be negatively or financially affected by it. And that also meant that I did not have to go to school. That also meant that I did not have to give my exams. That also meant that I could, as a person who was very good academically, like really good. I was really good academically. I did not have to put extra effort into like getting great marks in school, and even college also I did not put a lot of effort. I only needed to get by and do my music, so it was never a problem. So I had the privilege to start focusing on music. So in 2020, my day would look like, they would end and begin in a certain single room. This room where I had my piano, this room where I had my laptop and my speakers. And I would wake up there, start playing my piano, start putting on some music, start making some music, get out just for lunch or to take a shit, come right back again, take my online classes. I would just like turn it on in one of the devices and let it be there. I never used to like pay attention because I did not need to also. It's not because I was slacking off. I had great grades, but I understood that, hey, I did not need to go to classes, so I could start focusing on music. I used to put out covers. I used to record my piano. I started to produce music. I started to record everything, started editing, started color grading, started putting videos out on Instagram with my vocals for the first time. I started singing for the first time in my life actually. I was never the person who sang in a choir. I was never the person who's openly sang, or like even out of uh, dioceses or stages. I would never. I'm not the person who casually sings around houses or like in your home or around friends. I'm not the person who sings casually too. So in 2020, I actually started opening up my vocals to like experimenting with my vocals and seeing if I could sing. So 2020, my life would be just like waking up near the piano, making music, putting it out on Instagram, and sleeping.
What is it today?
It's more or less the same. I think with conviction now. I think it's everything that is, but with a purpose that is not just for myself, but for people around me, that is enabling a lot of friends around me. But yeah, I've been getting time to listen to a lot more music recently. After a while of moving to Mumbai, 3.5 months ago, from Kerala, from Trivandrum, alone, cutting a life out of me here, which was a strange decision. And I think one of the things that I learned about myself when I moved out and started living alone, away from everybody I knew, away from all the structures I had in my life throughout for 21 years, is that I'm more angry than I thought I was as a person generally. I think autonomy gives you freedom to be angry. I think when you stand on your own, uh, make a living on your own, I think me as a person has started to understand entitlement in a very positive manner more. That was never the case before. And one of the best things that came out of doing music full time is that out of it, it made me a more rounded person who has the ability to be angry, which I did not have before. And sometimes, even looking at music other people make around the world, around India, sometimes does anger me because like the kind of music I make is from a lot more intense stakes. So I don't like it when people I sometimes don't like it when people fuck around with it in a way that I don't like. But it's their own thing. Music should be uh, liberating. Music should be freeing. That's definitely true. And I'm free to be angry also. I'm not gonna embark on a journey to like not let you make the music that I don't like. But in my own room, I can be angry at you. It's fine. you know. I have the freedom to be angry at you for the music you make also. It is fine. I'm not gonna make it your problem. It's only my problem. uh, this bowl. I always had issues pronouncing the word bowl. Bowl. Bowl has 5 questions apparently for me, which is supposed to be tricky, and I have to diplomatically dodge them. And let's see how good I am at doing that. Things you do right on a second chance. I think being quiet. This is one of the things that I've been trying to practice. I don't shut up at some points in time. I wish I could go back and shut up in certain places in my life. That would do so good for me holistically. Second thing, what's one thing you trade for the music? Great question. What's one thing I trade for the music? Security. Um, what music brings in this country, unfortunately, is a shit ton of insecurity. Not just about making music and how good you are, which is a separate conversation. This is financial. When I came to Mumbai, when I started making music for myself, and then just earning out of music, it's never a secure place. Our record deals don't have life insurance or like a family insurance, or like your kids don't get insurance in your record deals. So if you could get security, I would trade it for the music. I will make it for myself and play it to myself all the time. I would not mind that if I had the security. Contemporary. One contemporary artist you would want to date. This is such a hard question to answer. I would date anybody. I'm like a very open person like that. But like, it's very hard to choose. That's just being a polyamorous dude. Like, I'd date anybody. This is living or dead. Damn, bro, nobody on my mind. Bro, actually, fuck it. I would date. There's nobody on my mind. I'm just like trying to jog myself into it, but no. Wait, I'll answer this the last. Let it be here. I'm gonna answer it. I want to answer it. I want to do due diligence. This is pent up. Okay. What is one object you'd relate to? Oh, bro, like neck pillows. Do you, bro? So convenient, bro. Great design. So much utility. Can be anywhere with you. I think I'm convenient like that. I'm a neck pillow. I'll be by your side, man. 1, 2, 3. 15% of 2,500. 1.15% of can okay. Pen and paper I need. Okay, well, fuck it. Like 10% of 2,500 is to 2,500. 5% is 150. 250 plus 215 plus 250 plus 120. 250 plus 12.5. Bro, my parents would hate me for this. 250 plus 12.5. 265. No, 252.5. I guess. I don't know. 262.5. 262.5. One contemporary artist you would want to date. Damn, bro. Who do I want to date, bro? Okay. Oh, now this is not about dating, but like I would actually want to really closely understand this uh, person called Asha Putli. Uh, she has been doing. I think she's one of the first funk artists from India. Let me Google this real quick. And Asha Putli, Indo-American. She moved from Mumbai to New York, okay? And she's right now 80 years old. And she was doing funk music back in the 1970s. Like, and if I could just like have a really intimate conversation about like, hey, how did you like start making funk music from Mumbai, then you went to New York? And that would be something that I would be really into to understand her. And this is not about dating, but if I was her age, great, we would have great conversations. But again, that's not answering the question, is it? It's crazy. How would I answer this, bro? I would date Circle Tone. Circle Tone, bhai, I know you're not gay. Neither am I like that. But bro, I would date you. You're so sweet. Biggest dream. I think like I keep shifting my goalpost, which is a good thing. As soon as like you hit a goal, you have another one to hit. Um, for the longest time, it was to to live stress free with just making music. By just making music. If you could just have a living which is stress free, you don't have to scour for money every month. You don't have to think about rent every month, and just make the music you like and have that life where you don't have to think about those things. That specific circumstance was my goal, which I have achieved so soon in my life, which is touchwood, something I'm very grateful for the people around me, for the people who have stood by me for so long. But now I think what the goal is, I think this is going to be the more difficult one to figure out, is to figure out infrastructure for people to not be in such an insecure place while making music. Because, like I said, in this country, to make music, you have to either come from a certain financial background so that you don't have to be at risk of disappointing your entire family lineage financially by the decision you make, or you are a little stupid, to be very honest, to make music, which a lot of people are. Even to a degree, I am. It is not a financial sound decision to make music in India. You have to be a little stupid. My goal is to make sure that it's not a stupid decision to make anymore in the next 10 years, next 15 years. If we can have infrastructure around music where it is safer to make music and make a living out of it, safer to just think about music, and just like the conversations around making music and being a musician, if that becomes a more normal, uh, um, less riskier conversation, if parents become more open to their children making music, and that's only going to happen when it's financially a sound decision to make, and that is going to be a goal for me, to figure out infrastructure for the musicians of the tomorrow from my state also specifically. That's the goal.